Come on in. Hello. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Miss Ellen. While everyone is coming in, I'm going to start taping my canvas down for our painting. And this is going to be the side that I paint on. I'm painting on a 9x12 today, y'all. And I'm super excited because it is the only painting that I'm going to have time to paint today because I'm very busy. You know, Christmas season always does this to me. So I'm very excited because this is my favorite time of the day when I get to paint. And even more fun when I get to paint live. So we're going to have a blast today. And I have a lot of exciting things happening. You know, now it's Christmas time. It's Christmas season. Halloween is over. Thanksgiving is here for a few days, but it's officially Christmas time. In my books, anyway. We're taking our tree down today. Who else does that? Who else takes their tree down on November 1st and puts it up? Hello, Michael. Hey, Pamela and Elaine and Carol. Hello. Hi, Judith. How are you? And Laura and Valerie. Hey, Cindy. Come on in, come on in. So what I'm doing right now is I'm using a sheet of canvas. I don't know if it's called. It's a canvas sheet. Okay, it's very it's like cotton. It's really, really nice. This is my last sheet, so I'm going to show you. No, it's not my last sheet. I have more. It's called a canvas pad. It's for watercolor and other media. It is cotton. Okay, so I want to show it to you. I love it. See how it's like cloth, not paper. Okay, it's super cool. And so that's what I'm painting on today. We've talked about this before. If you're new, I'm just going to say it again for those of you who may have forgotten. The surface that you choose to paint on does have a different effect on how your painting comes out. And this painting that we're painting today, which I don't even have a photo in front of y'all to show you. So I'm going to open up my iPad. It is the way that the painting came out is one of my favorites. Okay, the way that it looks like vintagey and stuff. I am going to be showing y'all a lot over the next couple of months how to make your paintings look vintage. Okay, so that's one of the things that I really want to do with you because it's a passion of mine. I love anything vintage or rustic or anything like that. So Pat says she does hers after Thanksgiving. Those are what I use so they can put into a portfolio case. I just attached them to the blank. That's a great idea, Nicole. Canvas for paint parties. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I love that. Shirley says her tree is up. You win. Okay, you win. That's so much fun. I decorated the tree. Let's see what. Oops, I'm freezing. Okay, I decorated the tree at the gift shop where I work on Monday. We got 3 inches of snow. Miss Sue, are you in Montana? I want to say you are. I don't remember if you're in Montana or not. So that's super awesome. Okay, let me find the photo so I can share it with y'all. You know, when you turn when it's after 50 age group, you know, just give us a moment. We're gonna find it. I promise. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see. I have to go to my Facebook page to find it because I don't see it anywhere else. And we're going to get started. Yep. It's the one thing that I did not put first on my list was get a photo of what you're painting today, Ginger. Right? It's somewhere in here. Give me a second. Events. All right, it's in my events, right? All right, it's on my computer. I know that. So hang on 1 second. We're going to get this photo up for y'all. Hang on 1 second. Vintage Christmas. Vintage Christmas. Let's get this photo up. I'm sorry, y'all. You think I would have this all together. Vintage. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. I found it. I found it. It's uploading. It's uploading. There we go. All right. So here we go. This is what we're painting. This is what we're painting today. Okay. So when you look at it, you can see that there's a lot of muted colors. So what we're going to do first is we're going to talk about the colors that we're going to use to be able to paint this. And I have a little basket of goodies that I'm going to share with y'all so that y'all can see. I use all different kinds of acrylic paints. I do use tube paints, okay? I do use the tube paints in all different kinds. I don't know why. I just don't settle on one. I just like, whenever I'm in the store and I'm like, oh, I like that color, or I need this color, or whatever they have in the store, I just buy. Or I go to blick.com and I buy most of my stuff on there as well. So the greens that I'm going to be using are a super, super deep green. And the one that I'm going to be using is called sap green, S-A-P. Sap green is the green that I'm going to be using. The browns, you can see a little bit of brown in there. The brown that I'm going to be using is burnt umber. Okay, let me see if I can figure out where I'm at here. The brown I'm going to be using is burnt umber. I use burnt umber on almost all of my paintings. It's one of those colors that just, you know, of course you're going to need white and black. All right. Burnt umber is one of those colors that I do add to just about all of my paintings. And I don't think I told y'all this earlier, but this one's a really good color for what we're doing. It's called Warm Gray. It's from Master's Touch. And also another one that's gonna blend well with the burnt umber is Unbleached Titanium. It's kind of like a cream color. Okay, so that's gonna be my brown areas. I'm gonna do some mixing with that. My red is going to be a quinacridone crimson. Okay, you see it's kind of like a wine color, but if you don't have quinacridone crimson, it's okay. You can just use like a red, just any kind of red. I'm showing y'all just the different kind of paints that I use. You can use any red and then take some black and you mix those two together and it makes that really dark red. Okay, so you don't have to have the quinacridone crimson because that's a really specific color. Okay, this is just another sap green in a different brand just to show you that I just use all different brands. Okay, but I do have favorites. I do love golden acrylics. I love golden acrylics. And I love this, I don't even know how to say it. Utrecht, okay? I like them as well. I like the flow of the paint. The paint flows really, 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 really good. All right. I have a couple of backups just in case, because it's been a long time since I painted this. My first painting of this was a year ago. Okay, so I'm recreating this painting a year later, and I didn't write down the colors, so I'm doing a good estimate of what colors I'm going to need. These are the backup colors that I pulled. I pulled a lemon yellow for like to mix with my sap green to get that lighter green color. I'm not sure if I'm going to use yellow or not because yellow is such a warm color, and if you notice, this painting has a lot of cool colors in it. Okay, it's a lot on the cool side. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use a lemon yellow or not. Here's a backup color that I may need as well. It is Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray is a beautiful navy blue. And I forgot, I'm going to need a little bit of blue to get that background, because I don't know if y'all can see, it's got a little bit of turquoisey shade in it. So I'm going to use ultramarine blue. This is one of my go-tos for my blues. Ultramarine blue is a beautiful blue that I'm going to use for mixing. I love to mix. I'm a mixer. I also have another backup color that I may use. It's very, very good for helping you get your muted colors. To help you get your muted colors, you basically want to mix things with gray. Okay, you want that gray tone. And this is one that I found that I really like. It's called neutral gray. You can always mix black and white together to get gray. But this one is, I don't know, something special about it. Whatever the pigment is in it, it's got titanium white, carbon black, and natural iron oxide. I don't know what color natural iron oxide is, but whatever it is, it just makes a really nice color. So you can mix, you know, if you look on back, especially on back of these Utrecht tubes, it tells you what colors they mix together to make this color. So you don't need all of these paints, but it's so much fun to have all of these different paints. All you really need is white, black, blue, red, and yellow. The cool blues, the cool reds, the cool yellows, and then also the warm blues, the warm reds, and the warm yellows. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing I'm going to do is I want to start with that background. So I'm going to pull out the colors that I'm going to use first, and that's going to be some blues and greens, and of course my black and white. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me take this photo, put it on the side, and then we're going to paint. And I'm going to take my face off of the screen as well. So we are now in paint mode here. We are getting set up. And we're going to rock and roll. Okay, let me get you a little bit straighter there. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting my paints out. And I'm going to start with a little bit of black. Okay, a little bit of blue. I'm just going to leave all these paints here. A little bit of green. Very, very little. Do not need much at all. I do need a lot of white. So I am going to be, if I can get it out. It's coming. Got a little dried up on the end. There we go. Okay. Got my white. And I'm just going to use a, like a flat, just a fun flat brush. Nothing special. Just a fun flat brush, about an inch and a half. I'm going to dip it in the water. And I'm basically just going to start. Let me go ahead and start on this right here. If I can get my... I'm going to start mixing. And I'm going to take my white, a lot of white. And I'm also going to use just a teeny bit of the blue. Basically, I'm just pulling a little bit of that blue in here. A little bit of that green. Okay, you see how pretty that color is? That is way too bright. Okay, I'm going to just dab into a little bit of the black. And I'm going to start mixing. Teeny bit of blue. And I'm going to need a lot of this color. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that pretty? Very, very pretty color. Let me get my photo up so I can see what I'm doing. All right. And I'm just going to fill this. I'm going to go straight up and down. And I'm just going to fill this with these beautiful kind of greenish muted colors. And I'm going to add, now notice when I added that little touch of black in there, you notice when I add that, I'm getting kind of like those muted tones that I want. Okay, so pay attention to that. Hang on one second. My computer is acting up. Why today, y'all? Why today? One of those days where nothing seems to work right. Nope, that's not the one I want. I want this one. One more. Okay, I'm just going to fill the whole thing up while I try to figure out what is wrong with my computer. I cannot see y'all at the moment. LM. Hang on. Why? Okay, this should be it. Just give me 1 minute and I'll figure it out. Vintage Christmas. Nope. My computer has decided not to work for me today. So we're just going to keep on painting and y'all are just going to keep on listening to me. And I'm going to enjoy this painting as much as I can. Sorry about the glitches, y'all. I can't see y'all. For some reason, my computer just went black. But I have a feeling I'm still there. And I'm not sure what's going on. So I'm going to do the best I can to enjoy this painting and not let that experience make me upset. And we are going to have a wonderful time here today because that's just the way I'm going to roll. Not sure what's going on with the computer. We'll worry about that later. Okay. Sorry. I tried to fix it, but it's not letting me. All right. So that is going to be our first layer. And I'm basically going to wing this here because I have one more computer in front of me and I'm going to try to pull up the photo again if I can. But for some reason, I cannot pull it up on this computer. Let me see. Nothing, everything, I'm locked out of Facebook. I'm locked out of everything. This is crazy. I do not know what's going on. Unbelievable. Okay. So I don't know what this painting is even supposed to look like. So we're gonna wing it and I'm gonna make it the best I can going off of what I remember this painting to look like. The first thing I remember is I have got a Christmas tree right here. So I'm just going to kind of I'm going to kind of go with what I remember. Okay. I'm sure hoping y'all are still there. It would be nice to even see. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to shut my computer down, turn off. No, I can't do that because then y'all will lose me. Let me see. One more try. Technology. Technology. We just love technology. Mm-hmm. One more try. Let's see. Technology. All right. We're going to go with this. I remember this. I remember we've got some wood back here. Okay. We've got slats of wood that look like this. I'm not sure how many I had, but that doesn't matter. So I'm gonna start back here and I'm gonna basically just kind of go with this. I used some gray and I used a liner brush. All right. And this is kind of, I'm gonna take some burnt umber, some dark brown, and I'm going to put that on my palette as well. And I'm going to keep on working with this large flat brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make almost like a dry brush. Okay. And just going to start putting some of that paint down here. And I'm going to mix a little bit of this turquoisey color as well on my canvas. Notice I'm using my whole arm. All right, I'm using my whole arm. I'm not, just using my wrist, because if I use my wrist, things are going to start twisting and turning, and I'm not going to get the straight strokes that I want here. Okay, so you see how that burnt umber, that little bit, very, very little bit on my paintbrush, you see how it already made it look like dirty and kind of, just like the old barn look, basically. So I'm going to take my liner brush again, and I'm going to go back with these lines just a little bit more. And I'm going to get them to show. They don't have to be perfect. And I'm just going to kind of blend them in again with my paintbrush. Okay. And then if I'm not mistaken, I remember having, I have something up here like a big board. So, and that's what and it's got some hooks on it, and that's what the stocking was sitting on. So I'm going to take a smaller flat brush that's just about the width of where I want that board to be. And I'm going to take my burnt umber. Let me wet the paintbrush first. I'm going to take my burnt umber, and I'm going to start with just a little bit of burnt umber, and I'm just going to start making my board that's coming across here. I'm going to grab just a little bit of white and a little bit of black. I'm thinking that might be a little bit too dark. Yeah, that's a little dark, but that's okay. And I'm going to just keep it really loose. I want my board to be just a little bit wider. So let's go just a little bit wider. I added some white because I want it to stay muted. I don't want anything really, really popping. I want everything to be just really calm and gentle. Okay, so I'm going to keep those colors. I'm going to keep mixing a little bit of white and a little bit of black into my colors to keep that look that I want. Maybe just a little bit more brown. Okay, right at the base, I'm going to make like a shadow. I'm going to make like a shadow, and that shadow is going to be made by using some black and my paintbrush. You see how, I don't know if y'all could see this. I think y'all can. My paintbrush has way too much paint on it over here. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to kind of take some of that paint off. And I'm going to make like a dry brush. Okay. And then I'm going to take that dry brush and I'm going to pull. You can use a larger paintbrush if you want, but I'm just going to pull straight down right underneath this board. And I'm going to start making that shadow. Just start making that shadow right underneath. My computer, I'm trying to think about what's going on with my computer. My computer is old. I've been having it for about 6 years. And so I wonder if it's telling me, oh, you need to buy a new one. And I'm like, no, I don't want to have to buy a new one. It's like it just kind of froze on me. So all right, I like this. I like the way it's coming out. And I feel like I'm just going to press a little harder. I feel like I want some of that down here too. Just a few little strokes here and there. Maybe some of this is going to be covered up because I know I have a tree right here. Okay. But this is, I'm going to make these lines just a little bit darker. And maybe just a little teeny bit darker, just right under the board. And that's going to give you that dimension that makes the board look like, okay, it's not attached to the wall. It's actually an additional piece. So that's going to give us a nice little area there. I think I'm going to try just making this line a little bit darker because I like that. Okay, that looks pretty cool. And then I have some little, some like dowels sticking out of the board. And I'm going to put those one right there. I should probably use a different paintbrush, but I'm just going to go with it. Okay, I like that. That's looking good now. What do y'all think? All right, let me remember. I remember I have like an old hat or an old pan or something hanging on like there's another hanger out here that you can't see. And so we've got something right here. We've got a stocking right here, an old vintage stocking. It looks like an old sock. And then we have a tree. we have a tree. I'm just gonna, that tree is gonna be way up here, and we're gonna go all the way with like an old vintage sack that's at the bottom of the tree down there. Okay, so basically I have those 3 pieces on this wall that's hanging. Well, the tree's not hanging, the tree's just there. Okay. The tree's got to sit on something. So let's make our base. We're going to make our base with the burnt umber. So it's kind of like, it's basically the floor, I'm guessing, right? So let's go. Oh, and I have a candle. I have a candle over here. So let's go about right here. Let's go about just about an inch or so right at the bottom. And we are going to make the floor. Let's go with a little bit more. I want it to look kind of like an old wooden floor. So I'm going to use a little bit of brown in there. And I have a little bit of extra paint on my paintbrush that have been like basically brought in there as well. You can kind of see some of the greens. I'm actually going to put some of the greens on my paintbrush. I kind of like that. Isn't that pretty? Right under the Christmas tree, we're going to have a little bit of shadows that we're going to add. So I'm going to keep this little area right here a little bit darker because I'm going to make my Christmas tree sit on this floor right here. And I'm also going to have a candle that's going to sit over here. So my stocking probably needs to be a little bit smaller so that it's not dragging the floor. So I'm going to redraw my stocking. Okay. I love the colors. Love, love, love the colors. The colors are basically what has drawn probably a lot of y'all into this painting because of the colors. We all like those fun muted colors. Okay, so I am going to start on the left and I'm going to work my way to the right. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because if I start over here on this side, I'm right-handed and this is going to be all wet. And if I'm trying to paint over here on this side and maybe I need to rest my hand for a second to get some details in, I'm going to just mess all of this up. So basically I'm going to start on the left and I'm going to work myself to the right so that I'm going to have the pieces that I painted are going to be wet on my left side where I really don't want wet paint on my right side by my hand. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to use a filbert brush. And my most favorite part of this whole painting is the Christmas tree. I love to paint Christmas trees and I love to paint trees in general. So we're going to start by making the base. And I'm going to use this warm gray, which is kind of like the color of like an old sack. And so I'm going to use this warm gray. And if you don't have a warm gray, it's okay. You can just use brown, black, and white. And I can show you that. I can show you how easy it is to mix these colors together and get this beautiful warm gray color. Okay, so I'm going to start by just making a little round, kind of a round oval right here. So if you don't have this warm gray, this is what I would do. I would take, I don't know if y'all can see that, so I'm going to show you right here. I would take the burnt umber. I would take some white. And then I would take a teeny tiny bit of black. And see, I've just basically made that color. If you want it a little bit lighter, You can add more white. And then there you go. I'm going to add just a teeny bit more brown in it. And yeah, it's very close to the same color, so you can definitely use that. I'm just going to bring that in there. Might come back. I will come back and put a couple of extra layers in there. Okay. So I will go back once this is all over, y'all, to answer if you have any questions or anything like that as we're going. All right. So filbert brush for this to me is very important because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using this sap green. I'm going to be using this sap green right here, which is a super, super dark green. It is my favorite green to paint with because it's just got this color to it that just makes me really, really happy. All right, so I'm just going to start like hardly touching. And this is going to be kind of like the top of the tree over here. And I'm just using the edge of the filbert brush to make some little, almost like raindrops. Okay. Almost like some little raindrops. And I'm going to keep on doing that. I'm thinking that my tree is going to be full of branches as well. I'm just going to start placing. I want it to kind of fall down, like come down. I want some of the branches to come down, like you know, like it would be a real Christmas tree outside. And so I'm just going to keep on. I don't want to cover. Notice how I'm skipping a lot of areas. I don't want to cover it. I want some of the background to still be showing through. And this is the first layer. So we have a few layers of this green to do. So, you know, just be patient with the process. And while I'm painting this, I want y'all all to know that I have a lot of things going on in November, and I'm going to talk to y'all about them and let you know what's going on. The first thing that's going on is I am selling ornament kits this year. You get 4 ornaments in the kit, and I'm going to do a DIY on how to paint on the ornaments. And these are some samples of the ornaments, okay? These are not the actual paintings that we would be doing. We're actually doing a manger like this. The kit comes with the jute. It comes with the wood. My husband cuts those. It comes with the jute. It comes with the template. It comes with the paint and the paint brushes. And I teach you how to make these. You get the template for the manger. You get a template for a nativity, like with Mary and Joseph included. You get a template for what else does it come with? A barn. If you want to paint a barn, you can paint a barn with me. You get a template for, what's the other one? Oh, a church. You get a church. Okay. But maybe you want to make 4 nativities. Maybe you want to do this one and you don't want to make the other ones. Maybe you just want to paint them all like this. So those templates are included, but you can choose, of the 4, you can choose which ones you want to make and which ones you don't want to make, you know, or whatever, but you get all of the materials. Okay. So I'm going to go back this next time. The first time I did this, I just went with the dark green. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to add a little bit of a lighter green. And I'm going to start filling it in a little bit more. And I'm going to take a little bit of white and I'm going to mix it in my green, which I need some more green. And the kits are $49.99 a piece. And I have very few left, and I am closing the orders for that this Sunday night. And then all of them will be shipped out next week. So I have not shipped any of them out yet. They will all be shipped out at the same time. And I should have them ready to be shipped out by Tuesday of next week. So you can have an ornament making party if you want. You can do whatever you like with the ornament kit. You can give them as gifts. You can work with your grandkids making them. The template comes with it. So, and then I'm also going to do a DIY video to go with it as well. So, just wanted to let y'all know about that. All right, I'm going to go with a little bit more yellow tones in my greens to start making a little bit more of a lighter green color, because I really want this tree to stand out. So I'm using a cadmium yellow light, and look what that does to that green. It really makes it pop. But to me, this is super vibrant. This is like way too vibrant, right? You see how bright that is? So I'm going to take a little bit of white, and I'm going to take a little bit of this brown, a little bit of the brown, the burnt umber brown, and I'm going to mute it down. And I'm going to take some more white because I don't think it's mixed up enough. And I feel like my hand was in the way for y'all. So I'm going to move that out the way and let y'all see what I'm doing. So this is a really pretty color. And I used a little bit of yellow in there to get that tone. So I'm going to come back in here. Let me take a little bit more of that paint off of the paintbrush. I don't want huge, big strokes. Just want some small strokes. And I might even go to a smaller paintbrush because I feel like my strokes are just a little bit too big. So let me try that. Let me go with a smaller filbert. One thing I don't have a lot of is small filbert brushes. Let me just try this one. This is a round brush, and I'm going to grab that one. Try that. Let's see if it's a little bit better. Yeah, that's a lot better. I need to go a little bit further down. So this is not a quick, hurry up, let's get this painting done type of painting. This is a really, time. It's going to take you a couple of hours, maybe even more than a couple of hours to complete a painting like this. And it's pretty regular for some of our paintings that we do in our membership. And I usually go live twice a week in the membership because after about an hour, we're ready to take a break. And then I come back live the next day and finish the painting off. So, okay, I want a little bit more variety in here. I want a little bit more of a brownish green. So I'm going to grab some brown. There we go. See how pretty that color is? And I just mixed the brown in. I'm a huge mixer. We do lots of mixing. We do a lot of color theory. We talk about, how to mix certain colors together. We have an acrylic 101 course in our membership where you can start there if you've never painted before. We have beginner paintings, intermediate paintings, and advanced paintings in our membership. There's over 300 painting tutorials, if not 300, right at 300 painting tutorials in there, a variety of landscapes, animals. We do not do people. We do not do portraits. I have not ventured in that direction, and that's just not something that interests me. But we do paint a lot of still life like this, which is probably one of my favorites, that and landscapes. I love still life and landscapes. We do florals. We do animals. We do deer. We do elk. We do birds. We do just about any. I do not paint gnomes. I'm not a gnome painter. They spook me out. It's just not something that, I don't know, they give me the heebie-jeebies. So for those of you who like to paint gnomes, I'm sorry, but it ain't happening. So yeah, if you are interested in joining us, we would love to have you join us. I have 2 different memberships. I have a mini den, which you only get access to the first painting of the month with us live, and then that's all you get in the mini tribe. You get 1 painting per month, and you get to keep access to the last 12 months of mini tribe paintings, as long as you're a member. And then the membership group is 1 painting a week, or actually 4 paintings a month is a better way to put it. But actually, no, it's 1 painting a week. It really is. Because even if we have, and we go live on Mondays, even if we have a 5th Monday, I'm usually going to do a bonus painting. I call it a bonus painting because it's a 5th painting of the month. You get access to everything that I do in there. You can ask for different size templates if you want to paint something on a different size. We provide different size templates for you. We provide tracing templates for just about all paintings that need a tracing template. Okay, this is not looking too bad, but I might want to bring in a few little darker areas in here. I'm going to kind of start finishing it up, okay? And this is how I'm going to finish this up. It's a little bit too blotchy, like dots, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in and I'm going to kind of get rid of those dots, and I'm going to bring my paintbrush in and move it around more. And see how I'm using kind of like the side of the paintbrush. Just going to move it around more to get rid of all those dots that I have. A little bit too dotty. Need to change that up. So I'm moving. Instead of stopping and picking up, I'm actually like moving my paintbrush on the canvas, and I want to fill in this whole line right here with paint, because this is only like half of the tree. And so if half of the tree is showing, then I want to fill this in more where it's actually like a filled in tree in the middle, because this is basically the edge is the middle of the Christmas tree. So we're going to go in and fill that in better. And this is the part of the painting that you say, oh my goodness, this doesn't look right. And you're going to hit those areas. You're always going to hit those, oh my goodness, this doesn't look right kind of feeling. I had a friend of mine tell me the other day, painting stresses me out because I want it to be perfect. I said, yep, I know, I do that too, but you have to allow yourself the opportunity to have fun and not feel like you have to create exactly what you see in front of you. You have to learn how to let go of that feeling. Does that make sense? Let's get a little more brown in there. I'm going to add some white. Okay, I like that color. Let's see what this does. Notice how I'm trying to keep it muted, trying to keep it on the very soft colors. I think I want just a teeny bit more yellow in there. Just going to touch on the yellow. And this is like a cool yellow. It's got more of a, it's not leaning towards the reds, you know? The reds and your warms or your reds and your oranges. This yellow is more towards the blues. So we want that cool. Yeah, I like that little touch of yellow. I do. Let's bring in that a little bit more. Okay, I like that a lot. Okay, I'm getting rid of the dots. I'm getting a little bit more of what I really wanted. And I'm going to come out just a little bit more in a few areas to make the branches look a little bit more crazy. Need that a little bit of water so my paint moves a little bit better. I want some of my branches to look like they kind of got lost in there. And if you put too much, like if you feel like it's a big blob and you just put too much paint on your canvas, you can always do the negative painting and open up your Christmas tree again. And I'm going to show you how to do that because I feel like I put too much paint on my Christmas tree. I feel like I made it too full. and I want it just not quite as full as what it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let it dry first, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to use some, what we call a negative painting technique, and I'm going to open my tree up a little bit and make it not as full. It's just really, really fat right now, and it looks to me more like a blob than it does an actual Christmas tree. So I'm going to let that dry, and while I let that dry, I'm going to start on my stocking. My stocking is going to hang from right here. So the top of the stocking, I'm drawing with my paintbrush, by the way. Okay, the stocking is going to hang from right here, and then the stocking is going to go kind of like, the top of the stocking is going to go like that. You can see this, I messed up on that, but that's okay. We're going to fix that. And then I'm just going to draw a sock going down. It does not have to be perfect. And that's going to be my stocking. So let's take a smaller, I'm going to use a flat brush here, and I'm going to use that green again because it's so pretty. So I'm going to just steal all of this green that I had going on, and I'm going to bring it in here, and I'm going to start putting my first layer. That's way too bright, y'all. I want it muted, so I'm going to add some of that warm gray in it. And I'm just going to fill that in. And while I'm doing this, the other exciting part that's going on in Jen's Den right now is tonight and tomorrow night, we have a live Facebook original art sale. Michael and I are going to be having a blast because he is so funny when we do. Every year we have usually about 100 paintings at the end of the year because I paint live every week with the tribe. And so that's 52 paintings there. And then I'm usually doing some extra paintings. I sell my artwork at an art gallery, and not an art gallery, but an art store as well. So I always have like extra paintings. I do other things, you know. So anyway, usually by the end of the year, we have about 100 paintings that are just sitting in my house on the floor or on the walls, and they need to go because they are just all over the place. So tonight and tomorrow night, we're going to do 50 each night. It's probably not exactly 100. It's probably about 90 or something like that. But we are going to sell, and I'm telling you, normally I sell my paintings anywhere from $75 to $200 a piece. We're going to be in the $20 to $50 range tonight. Like everything is marked down 50 to 75% tonight and tomorrow night. So make sure you come and join us at 7 p.m. We are selling our paintings from the last year, what we painted the last year. So super excited about that. And yes, perfect time for Christmas gifts, or if you just want a Jen's Den original, you know, so much fun. So that's what we're doing tonight. We have a lot of stuff going on. I have to finish getting everything ready for that. I'm a little behind on getting all of that ready. Go figure. Am I ever organized with all of this? Okay, so that's the beginning of my sock. Now I am going to, or stocking, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go into my reds. Where's my reds? Okay, so this is the stopped up quinacridone crimson color that I really love. Let's see if I can get that dry paint off of there. Look how pretty that color is. Can y'all see that? Isn't that just the most beautiful color? Red. I love red. It's just a beautiful color. So, see, there we go. I got a little bit out. I'm going to take this red, and I'm not going to put any white in it, because if you put white in it, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get pink, and we do not want pink on our stocking. So I'm going to make the top of this stocking a really, really dark red. And I'm going to borrow I'm going to go a little bit thicker, because that looks like it needs a little bit more. By thicker, I mean I'm going to make the red come down a little bit further. And then right on the base here, I'm going to do it a little bit different. I think I had like something like this, like maybe the heel, and then I'm going to do the toe. The heel and the toe, maybe. Something like that. And I'm going to borrow a little bit of yellow, and that yellow is going to make that red pop. A little bit more yellow. So quinacridone, crimson, and yellow. This is actually called lemon yellow. It's like a light, very, very, very light yellow. Get a little bit more vibrance in there by adding just a teeny bit of white in it. Okay, I think that's kind of cool. Now, I'm going to add a little touch of shadow behind the stocking, because it's hanging on the wall. Okay, it's hanging on the wall. So I want it to look like it's hanging on the wall. And I'm going to use some of this brown. Okay, I'm going to use some of this brown. And I'm going to kind of use it like a dry brush. A little bit of brown, a little bit of black. Not really dark. I want it to stay muted. And so I'm going to go on this side. I'm going to add a shadow. Now it's a little bit too brown. I need it to be a little more in the gray. So let's add some black in there. I think I need a different brush. That might be my biggest issue. Let me go with a flat, and I'm going to pull. Y'all might not be able to see. Let me go this way. I'm almost like coloring with my paintbrush. While the paint's still wet, you see how I'm pulling out that darker color? Now, see that shadow there? How awesome is that? I'm going to make it go all the way down. Oops, I grabbed the red. That's all right. We can fix that. I'm going to kind of pick up some of that red. There we go. Kind of like a watercolor thing. You pick up a color when you don't want it to show. And this is going to be, I have a little blotch of red right there that's grabbing onto my paintbrush. So, gotta draw that. Okay, a little bit more. Let's just add just a tea bit right here just to let us know, hey, I am not a part of the wall. I am just hanging off of the wall. So, see how that just added a whole nother dimension? I can still see that line I made right here. Okay, so when I go back and fix, because I'm going to have to go back and fix some things. I'm going to come back and fix that. I'm going to fix that line. I'm going to fix my tree, all that good stuff. But I like where my stocking is right now. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's do this big piece right here. This is going to be like a, maybe like a big hat, I guess. I'm going to use my brown and my warm gray. And my white. Let's use some white. I need a little bit of water. Let's get some white in there. That's a lot of white, isn't it? Let's not use that much white. Okay, blending all that in. Nice, 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 nice. I'm gonna come right back one more time. I used a lot of water on my paintbrush here to get this, okay? And then I'm gonna add like the top of the hat is gonna kind of just have a little. Just a little look like that. Maybe it's not a hat. Maybe it's a bowl. I don't know. Just make it whatever you want. It's your painting. I'm just giving you guidance to help you get out of that. I cannot do that stage because you can do it. You can do it. I'm telling you, you can do it. I'll never forget my aha moment in my life when I was a painter. I had just started painting like probably 7 years ago. Yeah, probably about 7 years ago. And I had just started, I'm making my shadow again, y'all. I had just started painting, like probably 6 months. And I have a first cousin who has a degree in interior design and architecture. And she had one of her clients who she was decorating the child's nursery. She was having a little girl, and her client wanted a large, like they own a farm, okay, and her client wanted a large like baby cow painting above the crib. And so my first cousin contacted me and said, hey, can you paint something like this? And she sent me a picture, and I was like, she didn't ask me, can you paint? She said, hey, I want to hire you to paint this for me. I was like, I can't do that. She's like, yes, you can. I've seen your work. You can do this. I was like, I've never painted an animal before. She said, just trust me, you can do this. I was like, okay, well, I'll try. And I'm not going to take the job until I do it and you look at it and then you let you let your client decide whether they want it or not. And that was my first experience um, painting an animal, because I was like, I'm not even going to attempt to paint an animal. And it came out so good that it's still one of my signature pieces in my sales on my Etsy shop, because I took it and I made like you can buy prints of it, and I put it on cups and all that kind of stuff. And I guess because I was so worried about it, I spent probably 2 weeks on it, you know? But I did it. And then that just opened up a whole new confidence level in me, saying, oh my gosh, I can actually do this. But I would have never taken that opportunity if I wasn't given the challenge to do it. So I just wanted to share that with you, to let you know that you can do it, even though you don't think you can, because I have experienced that and it's true. Okay, I really like the way it's coming out. I'm going to start adding my shadows. I'm using some black, and I'm just going to add a little bit of shadow down here. And I have a candle. I forgot about my candle. Let's do our candle. The candle is a really pretty blue color, so I'm going to use some ultramarine blue and some of this muted green, and I'm going to make that color. Excuse me. All right, so I like this color. Just muted green was the sap green and the white and the yellow all together. And so I'm going to come down here. And if I'm not mistaken, it was like a candelabra. So I'm going to start at the top with an oval. And then I'm going to go down with like a, almost like, I don't know what it is. The bottom of the candle is going to be here. Oops, did not mean to do that. So that's basically what our candle is going to look like. Something like that. Let's add in some shading. Maybe. Okay, super simple candle. Let's get some of this titanium white. Try to get some clean titanium white. My titanium white is drying on me. Let's add a little bit of water. And we're going to put a little candle in there. A little bit of shading on the side. Let's put a wick, just a teeny bit, just a little wick right there. Okay, the candle's not lit, by the way. If you were wondering, we're just making it not lit. All right, so we're gonna add some shading. Gotta make your piece look like it's on the ground. It's sitting on something. So we're gonna add some shading there, just a little bit. Maybe we'll just add just a teeny bit underneath the Christmas tree. like that. Okay, so now let's talk about, I think I've gotten everything done that I wanted to get done, and now it's just making those final touches. So some of the final touches I want to make is I want to go back and I want to open my tree back up. And by opening my tree back up, what I mean is I'm going to go back to that muted background. That muted background is going to probably cause me a little issue because I didn't save any of my paint color of the muted background. So I'm having to recreate it. And that's always a difficult task. But I think I just did. That looks pretty close, right? Okay, there's a little spot right here that I have to touch up. All right. I am going to put this color in here in a few little areas to open my tree to make it look like it's got a few less branches than what I anticipated. So I'm going back and I'm just I'm trying to get that wall, that born wall back there to come back to the front so that my tree doesn't look so full. It's a very hard thing to do when I made such a unique background. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that effect that I want, but I'm definitely going to try. Okay, I think I like it. I like it. Nope, not right there. Okay, that opened it up a little bit. You see how it just kind of made the tree not quite so heavy. The tree was so heavy, it was just taken away from everything else. So I am lightening up the tree. Nope, I think that worked. Okay, what else? What else? What else? I think that's all I had. Let me see if I can get my computer to show what's going on the other side. Oh my goodness, it is up. I can see the stream. Hello. That calf is what made me join Jen's Den. You had a paint party with it in 2020. Oh, Miss Carol. That's so awesome. That is so cool. I love that. Thank you, Miss Linda. All right, so it looks like a tabletop tree on a table with a peg hook behind it. Yep, that might exactly be what it is. Okay, so yay, I have now access to my area. So let's see if I can get the photo to come up. Oh, well, look at that. That's what it was the first time I painted it a year ago. And this is what it was now a year later. I did not do the pine cone. I'm actually not going to do the pine cone. I'm just going to leave it like this because I really like it. So let's take this off because that's going to make it look even better. I'm going to peel this off slowly. Slowly. Look at that. So this is a canvas. This is a piece of canvas. It's from a canvas pad. It's very. You know, I didn't fix this. I did not fix that. So Let me go back. Hang on. I'm going to try to fix this and let y'all see how I fix stuff. Okay, a little bit of brown on top of it. Now, you can't even tell. A little bit of brown on top of it. Look at that. It's gone. It's gone. Yeah. Okay, so what I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, this is a piece of canvas paper. Okay, it's very flexible. It is not, it's not like you're not going to be able to take it and tear it like paper. It's not like watercolor paper. It's canvas, okay? So what I would do with this is I would put it in a mat. I would buy a mat and then I would put it in a frame. And I would put glass on it, but I would not put glass without a mat because you do not want the acrylic paint to stick to the glass. Okay, so you have to have that little air area between the actual painting. And I would buy some adhesive and like an adhesive spray, something very simple, an adhesive spray, and I would stick it to like a piece of cardboard first and then put it in the frame like that. So I hope, let me see if y'all can see me. I hope y'all enjoyed this painting with me because I needed to paint today. I needed it. It is a stress reliever for me and it really helped me today. So even though we had technical issues at the beginning, thank you for sticking around and hanging out there with me. And I hope you enjoyed this painting because there's a lot more like this in our membership. There's a lot more to come. And this is the time of the year where people love to get into all of their paintings with the Christmas time coming up. So I'll just give you a recap really quick. We have ornaments for sale, DIY ornament kits that I am selling. And you get a video. This is what the ornaments look like. You get a video to paint with a template. Okay, you get the jute. You get the jute. The only thing you don't get with it that you need is hot glue gun or some kind of glue to glue the jute around it. You get the template. You get the paint. You get the paint brushes. You get the carbon paper to trace your template. You get the wood blocks. You get all of that. And we have the kits available. I'm closing that on Sunday because once the orders are finished, then I'm just going to make all of the kits at one time and ship them out. So we're closing the orders for the kits on Sunday. We have a live Facebook sale tonight at 7 p.m. and I am selling my original art pieces for 50 to 75% off of the original prices. And what else do we have? And we have a membership. If you want to join our membership, you are more than happy to join our membership. It is open right now for November for all of you who want to come in and paint holiday paintings and just see what we're all about. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for being here. Love you all. God bless. We are a Christian group, by the way, so we do pray and we do speak the word of God in our group. So just to let you know, that is something else. That's a little benefit in our group as well. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you again tonight at 7 p.m. We will be having some fun. Y'all have a great one. Thanks so much for being here. Jen's Den is signing out now.